So last time me and Valerie went on vacation, my dad tore up the whole house. Today is my turn. Today is a big day. We're actually going to get countertops.
Smile. You woke up in Texas.
I'm Jim Dutton, and I've been a contractor here in the great state of Texas for over 40 years.
It ain't a good day till we tear something up. Tools make the job.
To help as many people as I possibly could, I started a radio show over 20 years ago. Now to help even more people, I'm rolling up my sleeves and hitting the road.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh, look how beautiful it is.
In Texas, most contractors don't have to have a license, so it's buyer beware.
And that's what you get when you hire a bootleg contractor.
You don't know what you're talking about. I've been building homes for over...
Yeah, and I've been fixing homes for over 40 years because of people like you. It doesn't work in Texas. This is Texas Home Improvement.
Previously on Texas Home Improvement.
Really, I'm actually thinking take this wall out to make the living room in here kind of more of a uniform space.
The open concept.
Yeah.
You can see we got the place cleaned up. Got floors in pretty much all the rooms. We got one little section left over here to finish up. This little piece here will complete everything as far as flooring in the house, other than doing some trim pieces, and then we're putting in our baseboards and all that stuff. We've got our hearths built on both sides, and we're ready to have them back out to put the finish coat on the outside of that. Then we can top it with our slate. That'll be finished. We got the kitchen going in, and you can see our flooring is through the kitchen, so it kind of gives you a pretty good idea what this is going to look like now. Lighting is in, cabinets are in. We're going to start putting in our end panels. Then we'll have the door to put in over here. Okay, you're going to find that it's cheaper to buy cabinets that are unassembled. And there's places you can get them, like Cabinet to Go, IKEA, different places like that. The cabinets that Adam went with are actually IKEA cabinets, but you're gonna spend a lot more time putting them together and then setting them into place. So you have to decide how much is your time worth before you buy unassembled cabinets.
The cool thing with this opener though is it has a lot more features than that old dinosaur that we had in the garage. It actually comes with an app on my phone so I can open it for anybody that's coming to the house. It has a camera on it so I can see who's coming into the house through the garage. And I haven't set it up yet, but it can actually hook up to my Amazon account so delivery packages can be set into the garage rather than on the front porch.
So me and Mary are going to take a much needed vacation. Part of the vacation is actually taking our son and grandson with us, but Adam, our other son, he's got to stay home. And one of the things I got him doing is meeting the fireplace guy. So when we get home to this cold weather, we can have a nice fire going in the fireplace.
So last time me and Valerie went on vacation, my dad tore up the whole house. Today is my turn. We got Lonestar Masonry Repair here, gonna do some work on the fireplace. We noticed with the last freeze, when my dad had a fire going in here, the mortar started chipping out, and we knew that that was gonna be a problem. We wanna address it early before it gets worse and bricks start falling out with it. So I'm here with JR, Lonestar Masonry. Why don't you tell us about what's going on with his fireplace?
Okay, well, the fireplace mortar in the back is deteriorating. What we've done is we've dug out all of the mortar that was loose in there, and now we're gonna prep it, clean it, and get it ready to take the refractory mortar.
So why don't you tell me what's going on here?
Well, the back of this firebox has the mortar that eroded off from the back. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just clean it up some more and be able to put the mortar into as deep as possible.
And this is a pretty common issue.
Yes. So, and this firebox isn't in anywhere near for you to even be concerned as far as for it to be repaired. You know, if it was, we're going to tell you, you know, but we're also not going to be telling you that it needs to be torn apart when it doesn't.
Yeah, it's good to catch it early though, right?
Yeah, maintenance is always cheaper than actually having to rebuild it.
No, it's pretty cold right now. How long until we could actually use the fireplace after this?
Normally, like if it was summertime, if you're doing the repair then, you could use it like in 2 days. But since there's a lot of, it's like 13 degrees outside, so 4 days and then you'll be ready to go.
Okay.
The mortar sits up air dry, so you don't have to put heat from the fireplace to get it to set. It'll set on its own. But it doesn't take as long like a masonry or a concrete that has to cure at least 7 days.
Yeah.
So it'll be ready to use in 4 days.
So, what are they working on right now?
Right now he's doing the final cleanup on it to make sure that all of the dust that was created from when we scraped out the loose mortar is out of the way. That way when we apply the refractory mortar to it, it's not gonna have dust behind it and it'll be able to adhere properly.
Yeah, so you get a good bond to the bricks and other mortar rather than just sticking to the dust.
Yeah, what we're gonna concentrate on is the mortar joints.
Okay.
There's other people that want to resurface the whole thing, and I've noticed that you can't get it clean 100% of the time, and then it starts to flake off.
Okay.
It flakes off the brick, but still,
Yeah.
it's not needed on the brick. The brick is a fire brick. It doesn't need an extra coating on it.
So what they're doing is using that pipette and pushing it all the way to the back, or?
Yeah, because if you don't pipe it in, you're not going to get it to the far back of the fire brick, and the fire brick are pretty thick, you know. In some areas, it's not as deep as the whole thickness of the fire brick, but you still want to get that in as far as possible before we start tooling it.
Yeah, that's a lot better than what I've seen a lot of people do, just smearing it on the front.
Yeah, they're doing it almost like a tile grout. They don't dig out a lot of it. They just put it on there like tile and then squeegee it around.
So what is this product you're actually using? It looks like it's pre-mixed in a bucket.
It happens to be a Tex bond. It'll air set and it's heat resistant. You know, if you start looking into it, it'll tell you it's a refractory mortar. You know, so but it's for actual repairs.
Able to handle the inside of a fireplace, huh?
There's various products, but you definitely want to get one that's going to be heat resistant. You know, you don't want just a pre-mixed mortar like you would put on a tile.
Yeah.
We also have a heat resistant the spray paint, and we missed it. You know, and it's a flat black. Or if you notice, a lot of them, they're painted anyway because they're doing that. Because if not, it's going to look really bad. You know, so we get a heat-resistant paint and just spray paint it.
What happens if you don't use the right kind of mortar for something like this?
Well, mortar, if it's exposed to high heat, it'll pop.
Yeah.
With the mortar, if you put that high heat, it'll pop.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely don't want that happening.
Yeah.
So as Charlie likes to say, concrete doesn't wait on you, but every once in a while you're going to end up waiting on some concrete.
Well, this is the way that the fireplaces are designed. I just pulled these pictures straight off the web so I could show customers.
Yeah.
When it rains, water's inevitably going to get in through your flue. It'll hit this smoke shelf, and the water will get behind your back wall. The damper in that angled wall make the water go that direction. But that's why the back walls tend to have a lot of deterioration, because it's getting a lot of moisture, and then through time it just erodes the mortar.
Yeah, so the water comes down that long, tall part, the flume, and sits on that ledge there, right?
Yeah,
and then it just kind of soaks in and causes that damage.
Yes, and these are just illustrations of the way the fireplaces are made. That way people are aware that this is normal, and if you do proper maintenance under, you won't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it actually is pretty important to have a cap up there then, isn't it?
Yes.
Try to keep as much water from getting in as
Exactly.
possible.
You want to have a spark arrestor cap on top of it. That way water isn't just going directly into your flue.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, now that the product's all in, it's dry enough to be able to paint it with a heat-resistant paint, because if you look, it looks a little...
Yeah, That's not very pretty right now.
No. And the paint isn't going to burn off, you know. You could wait until soot and other stuff will get it dirty, but why? That paint itself says it's graded to 4,000 degrees, so you're not going to burn that off.
I can try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's already looking a lot better.
Yeah, you don't have to like make it super dark. You just want to get rid of
That white.
that contrast.
Is there much to do after this, or is it said and done?
That's it.
So now the mortar's all been repaired, we got it painted so it looks nice, and we can actually get a fire going in this fireplace in the next couple days once it's fully set up. So meanwhile, while my dad's chimney's getting worked on, I've been busy myself. So first thing I did is actually start working on the baseboard and the trim around all the doors throughout the entire house. Create Stone got back over here and actually finished around the fireplace hearth, so that'll be ready for me to put the cap on. I've been painting cabinet doors, getting that ready so we can get countertops put in, and we're getting real close to having a finished house.
One of the things all of my kids had to be good at is thinking on their feet, because I didn't tell them how to do everything. They got to learn on their own. Well, one of the things Adam had to take care of while I was on vacation was weather. It started raining. He couldn't paint the cabinets and doors and everything. So he set up a paint booth out in his barn, and that really saved the day.
Because of the weather outside, I was actually going to be painting all of these cabinets outside. I actually had to move this inside. So I came out to where my shed is, built myself a temporary paint booth, and got to work. So what I do is I literally just hang my cabinet doors, do all of my spraying over here, and then I can take that door, move it back on my drying rack, and it's good to go. And as you can see, I actually already have all of these cabinet doors painted and ready to be installed. So the main reason I had to build this paint booth is, one, it's starting to get to more of a windy time of year. Leaves are falling off of trees, things of that nature. So I don't want that getting into my paint. The other reason is the temperatures. The paint I'm using, they don't want you to be spraying it below 55 degrees. I actually tried to paint when it got just a little bit below 60, and it caused all kinds of havoc for me. So I said, I'm not messing with it. We're moving it inside. I got some heaters going. I built my paint booth, and I'm ready to go.
You know, even though I've been gone on vacation and then had to take care of some due west business, Adam made a lot of progress, and that just shows how much he's learned over time to really move the house along. Today's the day they're finally getting their new countertops in the kitchen, and Adam and Valerie are just gonna love how this is gonna come out.
So for the countertops, we're actually going with a quartz countertop. That's a man-made product that looks a lot like stone, but isn't quite stone. Does a lot better for just wear and tear, doesn't stain as easily as your granite or your marble countertops. So for us, we're planning on using our kitchen, that's gonna work perfectly. For these countertops, these were all pre-measured to size for this kitchen. The unique piece for this is actually going to be around the sink. You can see we have the sink cut out on there, and then you also have that little extension that ties it into where the stove is going. That piece at first we were worried was going to be 2 pieces. It was just so large, but we got real lucky and it fell within an inch to where we could have it just all nice one slab. So one thing with my house is it's a 70s house and things aren't always exactly square. So one thing that we had to do with the countertops is actually cut into the sheetrock just a little bit to be able to get that countertop pushed in nice and make it look more square. And once I get that tile backsplash on, you won't even notice it. So one thing that happened is we're just about an 1/8 inch off on one of the measurements, but that's not a problem. They can fix that on site. They're gonna cut it, they're gonna polish it, and it's gonna look just like it came. At this point, all they gotta do is peel off that protective film off of the top, caulk around the edges, clean it all up, and it looks amazing in here. So now all we have left is we got to do the backsplash in the kitchen, hang the vent hood. We got the door to put into the kitchen between the kitchen and the mudroom. And then I have a couple doors to put on to cabinets still. And then this kitchen will be ready.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the show today. When you're finished, jump in your truck, head on out to the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. I'll be broadcasting live from 12 to 4. Hey, when you're done, stick around for some great rodeo action. Hey, got a question during the week? Go to our website, thipro.com, and click on the Ask Jim button. If you're looking for a great contractor, one that'll treat you fair and get the job done right, go to thipro.com and take a look at the contractors in your area that I've already checked out. Hey, got a question about your project? Join me on News Talk 820 WVAP every Saturday at 12 o'clock. You can call in, ask your question, and get your project going.
Don't forget to listen to Texas Home Improvement every Saturday right here in Austin on News Talk 1370 AM KJCE.
Don't forget to listen to Texas Home Improvement every Saturday and Sunday right here in Houston on News Talk 740 KTRH.
So now the mortar's been fixed, we got that nice paint on it, everything's looking good, and my mom should be happy that she can have a fire in the fireplace finally. And well, my dad will be happy because she'll be off her back, or mess that up, but off of his back.
Take the money from the customer.
Yeah. I'm not that guy.
I know.
Today is a big day. We're actually gonna get countertops. What else are we gonna do? It's what I would call the Taj Mahal of sheds.
Yeah, man, this thing ain't a shed. It's like a house.
It's a barn.
Pretty much.
That's really what I call it, is a barn, but I didn't want to sound pretentious.
You know, one of the things my kids all had to get. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the show, but why don't you jump in the truck, come on out to the past. Oh. We'll try that again.
All right, it's morning. Morning for me. It's like 8 something. 8:19 to be exact. We've got 13 degrees, and just to make sure everybody understands, we're talking 13 degrees, and Jim is in frost-free Florida on his way back, but he's got some contractors coming over to fix the brick mortar in his fireplace so he doesn't burn his house down, and he's asked me to come over and oversee that, at least be there while they do it, and I think he's gonna get back right when they're finished. Hey, how convenient, right? So that's where I'm heading right now on a record-breaking cold temperature morning. I signed up for this several weeks ago before we knew the temperatures would drop, so I'm on my way.